Dear students, today our lecture is floral formula. What floral formula is? Floral formula gives basically brief description of flower. It gives brief description of flower. When it gives brief description of flower, we can explain the flower. We can explain the flower in a technical or scientific way. And the description, this description is represented by this description. It is represented by various symbols, letters, as well as numbers and numbers. These symbols, letters and numbers are used in order to describe a flower or characters of a flower which the flower has. Okay, I will show you all the symbols, letters and numbers through which we are explaining the flower or which are used in describing the flower in a scientific way. Okay, now I will go for symbols and description. Symbols, their description with letters. Suppose here it is, we can say it is condition of flower, and what the symbol we are presenting with it, and the symbol, what the symbol is. Now we are studying the flower from periphery towards center, from base of flower towards the top. And when we go for this describing a flower, we are seeing the condition like bracteate. This is the condition. Bracteate, you are knowing. The bracteate, this bracket is basically small leaf-like structure which arises from the base of pedicel of a flower, because the pedicel is that point where the flower is born, and at the base of that flower, where the base of that pedicel, when small leaf-like structure arises, it's called bracket, and the flower having bracket is called bracteate flower. Okay, is called bracteate. Now this bracteate is represented by B, and if the flower is E-bracteate, that means this bracket-like structure is not present in the flower. We are writing the symbol with EBR. Now we are seeing the flower thoroughly. We can say whether it is actinomorphic or zygomorphic. If the flower is actinomorphic, it is symbolized like the circle and plus. This means actinomorphic flower, it means the flower can be cut into two parts by any vertical section. And if the condition of flower is zygomorphic, we can say like percentage. This is the symbol of zygomorphic and this is the symbol of actinomorphic. What zygomorphic? Zygomorphic is the flower can be cut only in two halves by radial vertical section. Okay. Now after that we are seeing calyx. Calyx is basically whorl, outermost whorl, and the unit member of calyx is sepal. Okay. So calyx. This calyx is represented by the symbol K. Similarly, corolla, it is represented by symbol C. Now, towards androecium, if we go towards androecium, this is again condition of flower, and this is symbol. Okay. Now, if androecium, we are representing the androecium by A. and gynoecium, which is innermost part of flower, is represented by symbol G. Okay. Now, if the sepals and petals or calyx or corolla remains indifferentiate, and the condition is called perianth. And this is represented by symbol P. Okay. Now, after that, there occur some conditions, special conditions, fused, free. If we say, suppose the condition is gamosepalous. Suppose if the condition is gamosepalous, suppose these sepals are 5 in number. This is a numerical 5 number. We can write this, as we know, calyx is represented by K. We can show here K, but these sepals are 5 in number. We can say 5, but this 5 must be in bracket. This bracket represents the fused condition of this. That's why we are saying gamosepalous. Now, polycephalous, again a 5 in number. These sepals are 5 in number and they are poly means they are free. Then this bracket is withdrawn from here and it's written like this. Substitute of 5, K substitute 5. Okay, this is polycephalous condition. Again, gamopetalous, same condition, gamopetalous. Petal is represented by C because petal is unit member of corolla. And if this is gamo is fused, again if we are saying this is 5 in number, we can again write here 5 in bracket. And similarly, polypetalous, again the condition C without 5 without bracket. Okay. Now I am continuing with these conditions. Bracket BR symbol, E bracket EBR, actinomorphic circle plus, zygomorphic percent, calyx K, corolla C, androecium A, gynoecium G, perianth P, gamocephalous condition, polycephalous condition, gamopetalous condition, and polypetalous condition. I am going to continue. Now, epipetalous condition. Condition of flower is epipetalous. What the symbol is? You know what epipetalous condition is? Epipetalous condition is when androecium remains fused with petal, or we can say corolla. When androecium remains fused with corolla. So we can write here this epipetalous condition. If is taken corolla and A is androecium, C is corolla. Petal is unit member of corolla, and this is represented by an R. This is called epipetalous condition. Now, if there is perianth, when there is perianth means when sepals and petals are not distinguishable. When they are not distinguishable, the condition is called a perianth, and this perianth when gets fused with androecium and this perianth is fused, this condition is called epiphylous condition. We can write here epiphylous, and here what the condition is, what the symbol is, it is symbolized like this, P, A and R. Now, if we go for gynoecium or corpulus, we can say monocarpellary. Monocarp is single carpel. It is represented because carpel is unit member of gynoecium. We can write here like this. This is monocarpellary. But if this is syncorpus, if the condition is syncorpus, syncorpus means carpels are fused. Suppose they are three in number, three carpels. We can write gynoecium 3. But they are fused. Syn means fused. When they are fused again, like bracket, we can write here. This is syncorpus condition, and this is monocarpally condition or apocarpus condition. We can write here monocarpally apocarpus condition. This is syncorpus condition. Now there are different ovaries. If superior ovary is there, superior ovary, we can write, because ovary is carpel and carpel is unit member of gynoecium, so we are write G, and if this is superior ovary, we take small dash at the below of G. And if it becomes inferior ovary, then again G, but the dash remains at the top. And if we say it is half inferior, we can write G and dash at the middle. This is half inferior or half superior. This is inferior ovary, G, dash at top, superior ovary, G, and dash at the base. These are some conditions on which, these are some symbols, conditions and symbols through which we are describing the flowers. Or we can describe the flower. These are conditions of flower and symbols. Syncorpus, fused. When there is syncorpus, that means more than 2 carpels are there. That's why I write here 3. We can write 4, 5. Okay. Now I am going to explain these with the help of example. We will take some example, and we will put these symbols in that very flower, in that very family. Okay. These are some basic conditions and symbols. These are some basic conditions and symbols of flower. Now, if we take example of Fabaceae, family Fabaceae. Example, family Fabaceae. Family Fabaceae is also known as Paplanaceae family, and there are so many examples of this Fabaceae family. You are aware about pea, you are aware about Venus, you are aware about moong. Okay, these are the species of this Fabaceae family. Okay, now if we have to explain the flower of this Fabaceae family, we can explain with the help of floral formula. We take the flower, we start from outer surface to inner surface and see all the conditions. Okay, let's see. The family Fabaceae has, you are knowing this, what the condition is? What the condition is? You are knowing the condition is? You are knowing you are knowing the symbols, all the symbols you are knowing it. Okay, here I am saying again a condition occurs here. This condition is called a diagonal first condition. This condition is called a diagonal first condition. What diagonal first? Diagonal first means when the androecium are fused and represented by two bundles. One bundle remains fused and a single stem remains separate. This is called diadelphous condition, which is the characteristic feature of flower of Fabaceae family. Now, what BR is? BR is bracteate. That means the flower of Fabaceae family is bracteate and it is zygomorphic. And it is zygomorphic. Again, this is K. K represents calyx and 5 in bracket remains fused. That means it has gamosepalous condition. Gamosepalous 5 in number. Gamosepalous 5 in number. And C 1 plus 2 plus 2. You are knowing the Papilionaceae family. I have explained in previous lecture. There is maxillary type of aestivation of flower in family Fabaceae or Papilionaceae. I have given the example of P.D.R. in which this is standard. This is big petal covering these two petals, which in turn covers these smaller petals. These are also known as keel. But these two petals are free. This one is also remaining free, but these two petals are fused. That's why this condition appears here. That means we can write here corolla 5 in number. 5 in number with maxillary type of aestivation. Maxillary type of aestivation. Okay, now comes under androecium A 9 plus 1. I have explained this is diadelphous condition in which androecium is in two bundles while 9, 10 in number, 9 are fused and 1 remains free. This is called a diadelphous condition. That means androecium 10 in number, 9 plus 1, 10 in number with diadelphous condition. Diadelphous condition. Sometimes there is monoadelphous condition. Monoadelphous means single. They are not differentiated into bundles. Okay, they remain present in a world, in single world. Okay, and again G dash 1. That means ovary is superior. Ovary is superior with 1 carbon. That means ovary superior with 1 carbon. That means monocarpellary with 1 carbon. This is the explanation. This is the explanation of these symbols. And I have explained you before what this symbol is, what this symbol KCAG, what are these bracket conditions, what are this dash at the base of the G. I explained here again in this family Fabaceae. This is bracteate, zygomorphic, again gamosepalous condition 5 in number, corolla 5 in number with maxillary type of aestivation, androecium 10 in number with diadelphous condition, and gynoecium is ovary superior with single carbon. This is the example how we can explain the flower, Fabaceae flower, how we can explain the flower. For example, I take here example of Fabaceae. Now we take one more example. If we take example of Solanaceae, family Solanaceae, what there is Now you can explain this. EBR represents E bracteate condition. What this sign plus in the circle? It represents actinomorphic condition. What K and 5 in bracket? It represents gamocephalous condition. It represents gamopetalous condition. It represents androecium, and it represents gynoecium with 2 in number. Carpels are 2 in number in fused condition, and this dash it represents ovary superior. And what this R represents? It represents the condition is epipetalous. That means androecium and petals are fused. Androecium and petals are fused. So if we take, we can say EBR is E bracteate. This condition is actinomorphic. Actinomorphic. I have explained it. I have said it before. Actinomorphic. What K represents? K in 5 fused. That means calyx, gamocephalous, 5 in number. That means sepals are 5 in number, which are fused. Likewise, C, it represents corolla. C represents corolla, but here we are saying gamopetalous. Gamopetalous means 5 in number. 5 in number. And androecium. Androecium 5. This is monoidal first condition. Androecium 5 in number with epipetalous condition. With epipetalous condition. And the G, what G represents? G2, it represents ovary superior. Superior ovary. Ovary superior. Ovary superior. Syncarpus. Syncarpus means fused condition. With 2 carpels. With 2 carpels. This is explanation of this family Solanaceae. What EBR, what this symbol represents, what this symbol represents, CA, and I have explained it. What EBR, what this is again an example how we can describe the structure of flower. Okay. If we take another example. Family Liliaceae. Family Liliaceae. We can say bracteate condition. We can say bracteate condition. We can say actinomorphic condition. Again, in Liliaceae family, for example, tulip. The petals and sepals remain fused, and when petals and sepals remain fused, the condition is called perianth, and the perianth is symbolized as P. Perianth is symbolized as P because sepals, 3 petals, they are fused. They are not distinguishable, and the condition is known as perianth. It is called perianth condition. And androecium 3 plus 3 and gynoecium 3. Now, here is this condition. This is called epiphylous condition. Now, what BR is? It's bracteate condition. What this symbolizes is symbol plus in circle. It's called actinomorphic. I have said what actinomorphic is. I said it. P is perianth. 3 plus 3, there is petals and sepals. They are 3 in number, but they are not distinguishable. That's why the condition is perianth. Androeciums are 3 and 3. Okay? Polyandrous condition. And R, it represents epiphylous condition. And G, and dash at the base, ovary superior, 3 means carpels 3, fused, that means ovaries syncorpus, superior syncorpus with 3 in number. Okay, I'm not going to write this bracteate. I have explained it in 2 examples. I'm here just saying this is the floral, general floral diagram. General floral diagram family Liliaceae. Where the condition is bracteate, actinomorphic, perianth 3+3, androecium 3+3, epiphyllous condition, and gynoecium, that means ovaries superior, syncarpus superior, and multicarpellary because carpels are 3 in number. Okay, this was all about floral formula and conditions of flower, their symbols, and how we can explain the flower in a perfect manner, in a scientific way. Okay, these floral formula, these symbols gives us description of flower, short, concise description of flower, which we are explaining the flower in a scientific way. Okay, this was all about floral formula. Thanks for watching me.